Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Complete My Collection channel, a series dedicated to hunting down the rare Funko Pops that I've wanted in my collection for a while now, but I started this series with a $0 budget. Current balance is at $269.52. I have not sold anything from my inventory since the last episode, but if you want to see what's currently in my inventory, guys, here is everything: in-box pops, out-of-box pops. If you ever want to buy anything from me, guys, reach out to me on Instagram if you want to contribute to the series. I like to give out these stickers. I just got a restock of these to whoever is a contributor to the challenge series. But anyways, folks, today we're gonna go looking for more things to add to the inventory. I do have a whatnot auction that's coming up in about like a week and a half, so if you guys want to bookmark that auction, also get $15 off of your first purchase as well over on whatnot. All those links will be down below. But let's go out to my normal stores, guys. We're actually gonna go to an antique shop as well, see if we can find any cool inventory over there. Without any further ado, let's get it started. Here we go. All right, made it on over to good old Entertainment, guys. Gonna see if I can find anything cool in here. Maybe add some inventory to the collection series. We'll have to see what I find. So right at the front of the store, this is where they have their new arrivals. And there was a couple of interesting things here and there. There really wasn't anything that I was looking for. There was this like trade-in Captain America, which honestly isn't worth much, but that was the only thing that I noticed that would be, you know, pertaining to the challenge series at least. And in their more valuable case, I did find a couple of interesting things in here with the donkey with waffles and also the Daredevil from She-Hulk. I didn't even know that those had like $25, $30 value. So I haven't seen those in a while, but that is definitely interesting to see. And then they had another little like newer pops that are in here that are just traded in. An older Deadpool with like the unmasked Deadpool right here goes for around $15. They're asking $10 for it. Not really enough for me to pick it up, but it is a cool older pop for sure. And speaking of that, no pun intended, Old Man Logan's a little bit of an older one as well. This used to have some pretty good value, like $30, $40, and it's definitely gone down quite a bit. I'm not entirely sure why that's the case, but looking around, seeing what other things that I can find, guys, we found this Selena Kyle chase right here. And I don't think this has ever been really a valuable one, but it's fun to find chases in the wild and for, you know, less than retail for $10, which is great to see. But that was pretty much it at Entertainment, nothing crazy. All right, I made my way to End Zone Hobby Center. It's fun to come here from time to time because I occasionally find some pretty good stuff. So it would be one of those times that I occasionally stop by. So let's see what they have, and maybe we can add something to the inventory. They definitely had a lot of things to choose from, guys, in their little Funko section that was in the back of the store. And we'll get to all the things that I found. Deadpool with Chimichanga, that 7-Eleven sticker, man. I remember hunting this down back in the day at 7-Eleven, and that was not an easy one to find. Value is not there. Unfortunately, we have Zombie Gambit, which there's some Gambit pops that have gone up in value with the Deadpool movie that happened a couple of years ago. But anyways, that's not one of them. This right here is a part of a series that Funko did. It's like Wetmore Forest with all these different like little monsters and things. A little bit of an older one that you don't see very often. Value's not anything crazy. Some Cuphead pops can have some pretty good value, so I was kind of digging through here to see what I could find. We have that werewolf bite right there from Treehouse of Horror, a Walgreens exclusive Superior Octopus, which it's fun to find the old Walgreens pops. Another 7-Eleven exclusive with the Cherry Slurpee as well. I remember tracking those down, you know, a few years back, so those are fun to see. Evil Cuphead has some decent value, but this box was kind of munched, so I decided to pass on it, even though it is a fun pop for sure. Lots of fun detail on that one. We have Grimace right here. Used to go for around like $30. I think it's gone down a little bit. There was some Grimace hype like a couple of years ago. I don't remember why, but that made the pop go up. And this one I debated on. This goes for around like $40 or so. Did have a little bit of damage. They were only asking $19.95 for it. I don't know. I kind of regret passing on that one. That would have been a pretty solid deal. Definitely a double up if I picked that up. So maybe we'll have to go back next time and see if they still had it. But this 2-pack is an interesting one. Black Bolt and Lockjaw. A fun, you know, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that you see every now and then. Value's nothing crazy. But End Zone definitely had some cool stuff for sure. Alrighty, folks, I'm making my way to a collectibles and antique store that I've never been to before, McLaren's. I had a buddy suggest this. He said that he's found pops here in the past, so kind of intrigued to see if we can find anything. Last time we went to an antique store, we found that Sadness in Salt Lake City, so hopefully this one will be just as good. Alrighty, folks, I found a little section actually back in here that has some Hot Wheels cars, and I do notice some pops in here as well, so I'm kind of interested to see if we find anything cool. I think what I'll do as well is take a quick peek through these Hot Wheels cars, because there is a Simpsons one that I'm looking for. I found one at a thrift store like maybe a couple weeks ago, and it was super overpriced, so maybe they have the So what I'm looking for here, like I said, we'll take a quick peek. So I'm going to be doing a voiceover right here. There was a couple more people around me, so I just decided to do a voiceover here. I was going through these pins and I noticed a couple of Funko pins. These were like some pop around the world pins a couple years ago that like correlated to countries. And then they had some other ones like the Superman one that had the pop logo and the Superman head. So yeah, those were fun. Nothing really, challenge series worthy to pick up, I should say. But going through some of the pops to see if they had anything interesting, I'd say probably the most interesting thing, or one of the most interesting things, was this Loki with Tesseract, which this used to go for like close to $100. And guys, fun fact, this one's actually a fake. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but the border on the picture of the front of the box is a little thicker. That means it's fake. And yeah, a lot of fakes are out there of that one, because that one got popular when the Loki series came out, years back or whatever. But Sesumaru right here is an interesting one for sure. Goes for around like 40 to 50 bucks. The box was a little bit beat up and they were asking around 30 for it. So borderline pickup, I would say right there. Fun Vision Chase. They were only asking 10 for it. Goes for around 15, but really nothing worth it for me to pick up, even though it was in really good condition, not gonna lie. But going over to some of the other things that I found, guys, we found this Joker from the Suicide Squad movie, which that was such a weird movie, guys. This pop would probably have more value if like that movie was actually good and the Joker was actually a good character in that movie. But yeah, definitely not worth picking up. And I wasn't finding that Simpsons Hot Wheels car, but I decided to do a little bit of digging regardless. There was some fun ones, just not the one that I was looking for, unfortunately. All right, so there was nothing for me over in that little Funko section over there, but I'm going to keep exploring, guys, and see what other fun little collectibles that I can find. There's some fun things in here as well. Some Garfield things, a couple of different Mario, Lego, that kind of stuff. I love exploring these kind of places because you never know what you can find. That Mike Wazowski is really cool as well, so we'll keep digging through. Doing a little bit more exploring, guys. I did find this out-of-box pop. I think it's from the Wonder Woman movie from, is it 2018? I believe is when that one came out. But there you go, Wonder Woman. Fun stuff to find, I guess. Seven Dwarves right there. That was kind of cool. Speaking of Disney stuff, I found these like wacky, or not wacky, but like wobbler, Mighty Bean type things that were like a Kellogg's promotion from like 2005. And they were only like $2. I found Nemo and Bruce, and I thought these would just be fun little collection pieces that are just some fun Pixar things because I love Pixar. So I decided to pick up a couple of those. Speaking of the original Funko Pop, guys, I know people would probably in the comment section below disagree with me, but I think Pez are kind of like the first Funko Pops because there were so many licenses attached to them and everything like that, so I figured I'd show that off. But probably the best thing that I found, guys, at least for the challenge series, and I picked this one up, was Lex Luthor, around a $25 to $30 pop. They were only asking $10 for it, so definitely, easily a double up and plus some more, so we're going to pick that one up. The condition was great on that. I want to say that that was the first ever Lex Luthor pop that they came out with, comic accurate at least. Fun con sticker right here, Ariel from the Little Mermaid live action movie. And then doing a little bit more digging, guys, they had some larger pops that were on some other shelves. You had Thor with the goat boat, right there from Thor Love and Thunder, I believe. But yeah, that was pretty much it over at that antique store. Well, folks, that was a nice little trip to a new antique store. We'll have to visit there every now and then, but I got that pop, that Lex Luthor one, probably around like a $30 pop, and then those giant Mighty Beans from Finding Nemo. I thought they were really cool, but I think we're going to head to our next store. I'm not sure where it will be, but that was a fun trip. Howdy, folks. I'm doing a little bit of a classified deal, and it's a bunch of really cool out-of-box pops. They're all part of the same set, and you'll find out here in a second what they are, but I'm only spending $30 for the lot. I think it's 12 individual pops, and I totally think it's worth it. So let me pick them up, and I guess I'll show them to you here in a second.
A few moments later.
It took me a second because they were all individually wrapped with tissue paper, but guys, a whole bunch of Lord of the Rings pops, and these are awesome. You can see there's a couple of different heavy hitters that are in here that obviously are worth a little bit more than some of the other ones, but since they all kind of come in a set, these are definitely going to be great. So I think that averages out to about $2.50 a piece, but 100% worth it. Great out-of-box finds for sure. Alrighty, folks, back in the office. Let's break down estimated value. I spent a total of $40.67. I did end up buying two of these like huge Mighty Beans or whatever. They're the things, kind of weebles wobble, if you know what I'm talking about, but they don't fall down kind of thing. But yeah, these are fun. These aren't a part of the challenge series, but You know, they actually, oh, that was a bad example. Yeah, there you go. They actually do their thing. They stand back up. I just thought these were fun. But anyways, let's get into estimated value of all of these. Lex Luthor was a pretty solid pickup at that antique store, guys. And I think I could probably get about 30 for him if I had to guess. And then these kind of value kind of like, you know, varies by each figure. So we're going to break down each one. So Sauron, I've seen on eBay, out of box still sell for around $10. So that's what I'm hoping to get. Gollum definitely isn't worth much. And I'd probably estimate value of him at around like $5. Sauron right here isn't a terrible one either. Out of box still goes for around like 10 bucks. Gandalf over here, he's not bad either. He probably goes for around 8. And then we'll get into Boromir right here, which he might be one of the better ones out of all the out of box ones. A couple of the Hobbits up here as well do pretty good. But Boromir still out of box goes for around 20. Legolas isn't anything too crazy. They made a bunch of Legolas figures, so he is only valued at like $5. Aragorn, this actually used to have some pretty good value as well, but they've restocked it, I think, a couple of times. So still out of box, I still think I can probably get about $8. And Gimli is about the same as well. I could probably get about 8 for him. And then on to the Hobbits, guys. So probably the best one out of this lot is going to be Merry right over here. And he's still going for around $20 out of box, which I think is pretty darn good. Pippin as well. Kind of hard to find, you know, some estimated values out of box on him, but I still probably think I can get about 15. Frodo isn't anything crazy. They've restocked him a bunch of different times, so probably $5 on Frodo. And Samwise isn't a bad one either. He's starting to go up in price with a box. Kind of hard to find some values out of box, but I think I could probably get about 10 for Samwise, which puts this at an estimated value, if my math is correct, at $154. So for spending 40, getting about 150 back isn't too bad. I mean, I did the math on all of these out of box pops. They were around $2.50 each, which honestly is pretty cheap for out of box pops in my opinion. And overall, I think these will do pretty well. So there you go. Not the craziest episode by any means, but I still found some pretty good stuff. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below, would you have picked up anything that I showed off today? Also, I have a really cool event that I'm going to in a couple of days, guys. It's a local collector's event at a mall, and I'm hoping to track down maybe a grail or two at that event. We'll have to see, but that will definitely be the next episode of the challenge series, will be the next video coming up. But be sure to subscribe as well so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, you guys are awesome and the best. Like always, remember to be kind of one another, always promote positivity. I'll see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.